3-hour movie about Batman, 15 minutes of Batman in it. Fuck that movie. At least the Matt Reeves ones had 3 hours of Batman in the 3-hour Batman movie.
Yeah,
Might
that
have
makes
actually been
sense.
a little too much. Might have actually been a little too much Batman in that one.
To be fair, it is called The Batman as well.
That's true. It's not called
The
The
Dark
Bruce
Knight
Wayne.
Rises. It just, it could have been just called The Dark Knight Rises. A little bit later. He's a bit tired.
It's more like The Dark Knight Wings It. Which kind of works.
That should be the name of a kid's book. Dick Grayson Wings It.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Write it.
Why not?
There's a market
That
for it.
spent all night painting the bridge with petrol, so he could set a light to it, and yeah,
it's a bad movie. I just realized that we were so set to do our natural talk into it that it started, and then we never started. It's our second episode, so we're not flawless yet. And I mean, by second episode, I mean second out of like 300. How many did we do before? Well over 300.
Second episode of 2024.
Second episode of the relaunch of After the Hype. So there we go.
Yes, I think in the notes I wrote it as 305 because that was my count, but it could be off.
Sure. All right. So we'll count that as our incredibly long intro. And hi, welcome to After the Hype. I'm your host, always Brian Dressel and Jonathan Hardesty.
I'm in danger.
Okay. Sure. We also got Kelly DeWitt coming back this week. Thank you, Kelly, for coming back.
Hello, nice to be here.
Yeah. And from the other side of the planet, waking up like a goddamn jackass, we have the zombie dog with us today. True zombie dog fashion.
Yeah, more zombie, less dog today, I think.
I joke, but as always, we greatly appreciate Matt waking up at god awful hours of the night just to do podcasts with us. I don't know why you do this. I think you're nuts, but we appreciate having you.
Because I like talking to you people.
Well, that's nice.
It is nice.
I'll be honest, you're my only friends. And it's
That's not true. You go out and shoot pellets at your friends on like a weekly basis.
Well, that's why they're not friends.
Yeah. Your best friends that you shoot with guns.
That should be a shirt. I shoot my best friends with guns.
I mean, that'd be a good shirt for his airsoft crew is all I'm saying. Like that actually kind of works. They do shoot their best friends with guns.
Several bruises to show that.
Yeah, see? Here we are back in our relaunch of After the Hype. We're changing things up a little bit from the last month's episode. We're going to try to keep things monthly for the time being. We're going to try to ramp up as things go on. John and I have had a few conversations. We're going to start it slow, try to make sure we're doing this right. As much fun as the first one was, we can't do a yearly review every single month because that doesn't make sense. And we'd go a little crazy. So we're going to try to start doing this a little differently. So this is like our first real different swing in After the Hype, but I think it's going to be a good one for us. What we're going to do is we're going to spend our months doing stuff, be it movies, video games, comic books, TV shows, books, whatever it is. We're going to spend our months taking a look at that. And next month, we're going to review it on this podcast. We're going to sit here and talk about stuff after the hype. So it can be something that is timely. Like I'm playing a video game that came out in November of last year. So it's still not crazy timely, but a lot of people are still playing it. Matt watched a show this time that just ended not that long ago, right? When did Slow Horses finish up? Not
season 3 was December. Literally December 27th. So the ass end of December.
Yeah, I know John's is more recent, and Kelly just went to this thing not that long ago. So yeah, we're talking about things that are somewhat recent, but still they've happened. Like it's not like we're talking about this is not gonna be your podcast to talk about the new Deadpool trailer and how much it's just gonna be an advertisement for another fucking movie, like all the MCU movies. Also not your place if you just want to praise the MCU. Sorry, I'm here. For that regard, probably shouldn't talk too much Disney. Probably shouldn't talk too much Disney either. All right, now all our subscriptions just dropped rather dramatically. We can keep going.
I'm sure that Disney will survive.
Damn. So we're going to start things off with a brief round of introductions. We're going to say what shows we're from. We're going to give a little bit of updates from those shows. And I'm going to let John go first because I've been talking this whole time. You got two hosts here, and I steamroll because that's I can't shut myself up, especially when I'm tired, which I currently am.
Yeah.
So we'll do a quick update on our shows and maybe do a little bit of where have you been doing, something that we're not going to spend the episode talking about.
Yeah, so, my show is Demon Days, the actual play podcast, with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. We haven't had a lot of episodes out lately, and that's purely my fault, since I'm the one editing them. And they're, Friday comes and goes really fast these days. We just dealt with a kid being sick,
Oof.
and then other personal dramas that just kind of kept cropping up. And next thing I know, it's today, and we're recording this. I'm like, well, shoot, I didn't actually do any editing. And what doesn't help matters is that the last episode that we've recorded most recently is like I made them long this time because I hate myself, but it's just the way it evened out because I tend to cut where there's plot points instead of just in the middle of a thought. So yeah, 137 I think was 2 hours, an hour and a half or something like that. At the end. Yeah, and I realized I hate that. So that'll be fixed in the next couple recording sessions, but for now I have to deal with it. So
cool.
But yeah,
what about something you've done recently? Give us a recommendation. Something you've done.
Something I've done recently, in terms of Demon Days, or actually outside of that.
Outside in the life of John.
It's been a lot of work actually, and getting this thing set up.
Persona 3. Talk about Persona 3, but if you spoil it, I'll murder you.
Oh, that game.
That game, yeah.
Where that little ditty, where this and this happens, and then this and this happens, and then this really surprised me.
Could you believe that Persona dies?
So Matt's never played Persona.
Yeah.
We figured that much out.
I would love a segment of just Matt talking about Persona, as if he knew what it was. Just like, so yeah,
just a segment of me talking about things that I've never done, as if I know what they are.
There's
like
this
the
guy...
confidence of someone who,
this guy Persona, he's a real dick.
Yeah, it's really fun, and that's also the reason why I haven't gotten a lot of editing for Demon Days done, because I'll wake up with the little time I have before work, and it'll be all Persona 3 Reload, and then at night when everyone goes to bed, it's Persona 3 Reload. And there's just the formula works in these games, and the updates that they did and the quality of life stuff is really good. So
yeah, I'm very excited to play it. I bought the stupid expensive version for my Steam Deck, which was stupid, but I'm very excited for it. I just got to finish the game I'm going to be talking about today, and then once I'm done with that, I'll move on to it.
What's the difference? What's the super special? I mean, I have it on Game Pass, so I don't know.
Just a bunch of DLC, then I get the soundtrack that goes onto the Steam Deck, so I can listen to it while I'm playing other stuff, and
Oh, nice.
I probably didn't need to spend the extra money, but I'm a nerd for Persona, so I did.
It's okay. I think you're a fan, so I think that helps.
Yeah, a little bit.
You've played them more than me, so let's put it that way.
I've played 5 once a year since it came out, and that's a 100-hour plus game. That's a lot of my time into Persona 5, and 4 and 3, and all the dancing games, and 4 Arena Max, and I like them. They're fun games.
You've delved into the side games where I haven't quite toed that just yet. Just because the main line is good, that's what I like. But I'm not a dancing game person.
It's so much fun.
Person. I kind of get
good shit. You're missing out on Strikers, man. That's a great game.
But also Strikers is connected to Persona 5, not Persona 5 Royal, and I like Royal better than Persona 5. So
close enough. It's still
great. All up on those games. I have no idea.
So yeah. So that's been eating my time, and will eat my time for the rest of time.
Kelly, I apologize. That's partially my fault. I really sold Joel hard on those. Joel, you have to play them.
No, that's okay. I'm still trying to forgive you for Phantasm. That would be a never-ending. I'll just hate you forever.
That's a gift that keeps giving.
No, honestly, the whole Robocop thing has been kind of a travesty as well.
The first one's great.
The third one, and it was the saddest thing ever. It was just ridiculous. I don't even know what we were watching, but I just kind of went with it and did my own thing. So this happened.
The tragic thing about Robocop 3 is I think the most tragic thing about RoboCop 3 is there is actually a really, really, really good film hidden in there somewhere.
No,
But like
no, Matt.
99% of it what is just shit that there's just like shouldn't be in there. But there's 1% of like something in there that's like, oh, there could actually be a good film here.
Yeah, it's called Robocop. It came
It's
out a few years before it. That's a
That's
great
written by
movie.
a lot of really bad.
Kelly, why don't you go next? Tell us a little about what you got going on with Afterthoughts these days.
Afterthoughts. Well, we just finally recorded and Joel finally uploaded the latest episode about Two Towers. So that's that's happening right now with, and everything, including our list of fantasy league cast members, being a part of it. Of course, like I said, we have to finish the trilogy just to kind of wrap it up, and then we will go into Dune.
Yes.
I have told Joel, I promised him I would not disappoint him on that. So it's definitely going to happen. It's just
I think you're more likely to disappoint me and Matt than Joel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I don't need to badger you to do Dune for this episode. Then.
I will try to read it as well when you guys get to it. I'm almost done with the couple of Reacher books I've got, and so I'll try to catch up. I'll try to read Dune along with you guys. We'll see.
You should read Dune.
Yeah, I started. Got 12, 2 chapters in, and then
there's more. There's actually quite a few more.
I heard.
Well, it's like my version didn't have chapters. It just has the little breaks with little narration things. It doesn't specifically have chapter 1, chapter 2.
No.
I listened to an audiobook, so I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the chapter breaks because it was more like a play, and it was really good. You should listen to the audiobook is incredible. Anything you've done recently, Kelly, you'd recommend people go do? Movie, TV show, book?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know about. Oh no, not RoboCop 2. We're not doing RoboCop. Well, I mean, it's not really something you could just go up and do, but Joel and I went to see the Neir Automata concert. They saw the.
Isn't that what you're talking about when we get to the main show today?
Yeah.
Oh, so hold on that.
Okay. All right.
Spoilers.
That's going to be something I discuss and something that has been a big highlight. But I mean, sadly, since the last time we discussed, we haven't really. Shark Tank. Yes, we've been watching Shark Tank.
That's something.
We've been watching Shark Tank, and really, that's about the extent of what I've been doing lately. I'm a teacher, so I've been really kind of bombarded with that. But I mean, we've been watching Shark Tank and kind of just sort of hanging out more than anything right now, sort of dropping the ball. But yeah.
No, that's I like answers like Shark Tank. It's one of those like, oh yeah, this is the shit people watch. Like that's and it's
and I unashamedly love that show.
There we go.
And I wish I could say I've been more productive with my time. We're doing I'm directing a musical at school right now, so that's sucked up a whole bunch of other.
That's not nothing. What music?
I was going to say that sounds like you're being very productive with your time.
I feel like I'm dropping the ball. I feel like I'm spending a whole lot of time on things I probably shouldn't be spending time on. But here we are anyway. But no, we'll go back to the Neir concert later. But yeah, that's my big thing. And again, I'm going to be doing Return of the King next, and then of course Dune. So that's the docket so far for that.
Matt, what about you? I know we're both on the same show, so we're gonna have to talk about different parts of our same show, but I'll let you take part of the intro for Binge Buddies.
What's that?
Yeah.
So I'll talk about half of Binge Buddies, right? So we're currently covering Robo. which is a film series. I don't know. I can't. It started off funny, and then
you sound like you're really good friends with RoboCop.
I woke up 20 minutes ago, so
fun.
And went to bed 5 hours ago.
5 hours? Are you joking? 4 hours ago. Got into bed and then started reading.
What about stuff that you've seen or done recently? Got any where have you been doings?
Mostly older stuff. Like me and my girlfriend have been watching X-Files. She's never seen it before, so like.
Really?
Yeah.
That seemed like to be right up her alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like Stargate. She never got to actually watching that until recently.
Again, that surprises me. I've only met her on VC a few times, but
she's German. They're weird like that. But yeah, so we're currently in season 2, just towards the back end of season 2, and really enjoying it. The last episode we watched was the carnival one. It's like the weird sort of, all the weird, the human blockhead and all that sort of stuff. Which is one of the weird sort of like comedy episodes that they do randomly. And yeah, finished the episode and she went, "That was weird." I was like, "Yeah."
Yep.
That was always the worm guy one for me. Like that one was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Oh, the fluke man.
Yeah.
We finished that one and she went, "Ugh."
Yeah, that's a fair response to that one. That one and the guy who likes to go out and electrocute cows. Well, those are my two like ones that I remember the most of like.
We haven't got to that one yet. That's I think that's season 3.
Season 3 sounds right.
Yeah, DPO, because it's oh shit, what's his name?
Isn't it like Seth Green or something like that?
No, Seth Green's in the second episode as like a stoner kid. It's Jesus Christ.
Is it Devon Sawa?
No, he's Phoebe's brother. No, it's Phoebe's brother in Friends, and he's in.
Oh, Giovanni Ribisi.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that.
So we've been rewatching X-Files and something new that I've been watching. Season 2 of Tokyo Vice has just started, which is a fucking great show.
Is that a good show?
I really like it. I really do like it.
It doesn't get target marketed to me at all. It just pops up like whenever I open. Really, the only reason I know of it is because I'm using Max to watch RoboCop, so I get advertised it whenever I open Max.
Yeah, it's executive produced by Michael Mann, and I think he directed like the first episode of like the actual first episode, and so that's always like anything Michael Mann's always on my radar because I think it's great. But yeah, I've been rewatching them. Like I've seen the first 2 episodes so far. Really enjoying that.
Cool. I'll go very last, and I'll go quick because, like I said, Matt and I are on the same show. So I'll just talk the other side of Binge Buddies, which is what's coming up next, which we have not even mentioned on Binge Buddies yet. So if you're only listening to this, then you have a leg up on our Binge Buddies fans, and if you're on both of us, then I'm just spoiling it for you way earlier because at this point we still haven't released a single episode of RoboCop, and we're about to finish recording the movies tomorrow, or not tomorrow, 2 days. Time, man, like time fucked us in January.
It's tomorrow for me.
I keep checking.
That's true.
I keep checking the chat thread, and the date keeps moving. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to come up with a thumbnail just yet.
It's done. It is loaded. It is prepped to go on Monday. RoboCop 1 is coming out. I've done it. Damn it took too long. But since we're almost done with RoboCop, even though the episodes aren't out yet, we've already decided what we're doing next, which we're going to do the entire run of The Good Place. And I am so excited to do The Good Place. We are way changing up the game from what we've been doing in Binge Buddies for the past 2 years of a lot of horror movies and death and violence. And
it's still about death.
Still about death, so it's still our brand. But it's a much nicer approach to death, at least kind of.
Less head crushing, I think.
Again, kind of. It's still 100%
more.
We just don't
murdering.
See it. It's just more about it. I think it's gonna be a really fun show. We haven't done a TV show in a while now. I think our last one was it where have you Who, What, When, Where, Why in the Shadows? Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Our last TV show.
Oh wait, no. Did we do Peacemaker?
Oh,
I couldn't remember which one we did first. That or Peacemaker.
I think we did Peacemaker after.
Okay, so
What we do in the Shadows.
so it's still been a minute since we've done a TV show, and I'm excited to dive back into it. We're going to double up episodes, so we'll be like 2 episodes of Good Place per podcast. So we will get through it a little bit faster than, an entire year of episodes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's such a good show. It's goofy, it's ridiculous, and it's relentless, which is, I think it's going to be really fun for us because it just constantly builds on each other. If you want to watch the whole thing from the first episode to the last episode in one sitting, you can watch it as a movie. It just rolls. And I think it's really cool. And they did a very, very good job with it. So I'm excited to do it as a podcast.
And it has one of the few shows that gets me to laugh out loud obnoxiously. So there's a few moments in there later on in the seasons where it was ridiculously funny.
All I have to say is Chainsaw Bear. And if you know what I'm talking about, it is one of the funniest things I have ever seen in a TV show.
For me,
I'd forgotten it, and then you said it, and immediately popped into my head, and I was like, "Oh yeah, there was a Chainsaw Bear."
Mondays, am I right? Chainsaw.
or
amazing.
Or Jeremy Bearimy.
Jeremy Bearimy, man,
Jeremy Bearimy.
So much about it is great. We don't even have a title for the show yet. It's going to be a minute, but I'm very excited for it. It's coming your way soon-ish. I know Robocop. All 5 episodes of Robocop stuff's come out first. But then Good Place. I think we've done a solid intro. Where have you been doing, John? Would you agree?
Yeah, I think we did a good job. 4 out of 5.
In my head, I heard you say 5 out of 4. I'm like, what are you doing to me? No, that's just my tired head. Just not working.
Nope.
I
couldn't give it a perfect score. That's just I can't do that. I can't do it.
Who's the 5th person?
Joel. I mean, we know. I can see he's playing a video game.
Yeah, he's
wherever you're doing is.
He's not so discreetly here. Yeah.
That's I can see. I even know what game he's playing.
Yep.
No, I went to go see Oliver Tree last night. Famous from TikTok, apparently, which I'm not on TikTok, but everyone from the concert apparently knew him from TikTok. Great show. If he's coming around, you should absolutely go see it. I say that kind of jokingly because last night closed out his show. It was the last night of the show. But if for some reason it comes around again, Oliver Tree is fucking awesome and you should go see him.
No more shows. No more shows.
I mean, that's how he was talking. He's like, I'm broke. I spent all of my money on this. I'm done. I don't know what I'm ever going to do again. But wasn't this fun? And it really, really was. So hopefully he wasn't telling the truth.
He's not doing concerts right, though, if he's broke. Surely he's supposed to make money.
Holy shit, was this a show? It was a mixture of a movie, a TV show, a play, and a live concert all in one event. And it went for hours, and it was awesome, and it was fun, and there's people dressed up as Spider-Man there. Sold.
People in the crowd or dance, people part of the show?
People in the crowd. They showed up to this concert dressed as Spider-Man, and bunnies and bears and tons of stuff. It was an awesome show. Everyone should go to it.
Maybe it was the real Spider-Man. He was just on his way to a crime and got distracted.
There was 2. There's Spider-Punk and a Spider-Man. It was great. Everyone should go to it.
Interdimensional stop.
Why not?
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse.
I just want to see somebody in real life as Spider-Man wearing a cowboy hat on a horse and go, giddy up. One of my favorite jokes in any movie of all time.
I ugly laughed at that one. That was
giddy up. It's just so goddamn funny.
I think my kids looked at me kind of weird because we in the theater. I was just cackling like an idiot, and they all look at me. I'm like, that was the funniest thing that this movie did.
Both of his lines were great. The giddy up and the you didn't wait for 3. They're just awesome. Let's do this. Let's dive into the meat of our show, or whatever we're gonna call it. Did somebody just die in Kelly's room?
Joel got up and the dog got on the couch.
Oh, okay.
It was a bit of a ruckus.
I just heard a boom, and then I'd see you.
Yep, yeah, that was him.
Right. Perfect. Glad to know no one's dead.
No one's dead. No, we're good. We're good.
No one's dead so far.
So far.
All right. So I'll kick things off because that's the order that we have in this thing, and I'll get things started. Thing that I did all last month, still kind of doing it this month because as we've all been talking, time has gotten away from us. I thought I'd be able to finish it by this episode. I have maybe a third of it left. I've been playing Robocop Rogue City. It's a first-person shooter. It was kind of like that not a AAA game, but it's also kind of a AAA game. Like it's one of those, like it's a AAA game made on a budget by a small crew, but it's still a big thing. Kind of hard to explain. You kind of have to play it to really see what I'm talking about. Like there's a lot, like the edges are rough, but the game is so good. And playing it at the same time that we're doing Binge Buddies, the RoboCop show, has been awesome. Because it feels like it's kind of a sequel to the first movie in a way. Like it's not just a sequel to the first movie. There's references to all of them throughout. But they still have the music from the first movie, which you lose after the first movie. By the second movie on, they have a new score, but this goes back to that original score. You have all the characters in there. They've done a great job animating them, so it still feels like you're playing with the characters from the movie. It actually feels like Detroit from RoboCop, which is a hard thing to pull off because Detroit and RoboCop is like a very much a moving needle of actual Detroit to Gotham City. Like it's just kind of all over the place. But this game captures that really, really well. And it makes you feel like you're living in RoboCop's world. I can't sing its praises highly enough. It's just been an absolutely awesome game. It feels like I'm playing a RoboCop movie. It's exactly what I'd want the game to be if I thought about what a RoboCop game could be. It's just awesome. Yeah.
Pretty fast paced.
No, slow as dirt, because you're RoboCop. So
okay, when you said you are true to the experience, I was like, he better not be running at things.
You can. There is a sprint button. Like you can click the left joystick, and you will move faster. But his sprint is about as fast as most games' stealth mode. So you're not moving very quick.
Nice.
And you have that everywhere you go. That constant dunk, 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 dunk of his feet.
Yeah, like I hear that when Joel's playing that. Yeah, I'm like, I just hear random sounds.
I'm the one who stomps.
It's one of those, like, I watched gameplay footage of it. I'm like, that seems horribly annoying. Like, who would want that? And then I started playing. I'm like, oh, me, I'm the one who wants this. Yeah, this is great. And then you just get the little.
I'm literally like saving up for a gaming computer just to play that game. Not just to play that game, but like it's the top of the reasons why. Like I haven't gamed in a long time. Like, you know, I sold my PlayStation because I got to the point where like I hadn't turned it on for a year. I was like, maybe I don't need this anymore. But that's the thing that's probably going to get me back into some sort of gaming.
It's just it's worth it, is all I'll say. Like it's that good.
You just can't buy it for $1 though.
Nope. Although you know they're going to sell it for $1 at some point, especially on Steam. At some point, it will be $1, and I'll be annoyed that I've already owned it.
If they do that would be a great idea, a great marketing idea. I would buy 54 copies of it just to make sure that it made more sense.
Yeah,
because, I mean,
they do like an add-on, like just one like really cheap add-on. It's like I'll buy that for $1 add-on, and it's like, just like, you know, it's just $1, and it's like, you know, a piece like a dollar is engraved on his armor or something.
These are why I should never be a game developer, beyond the fact that I don't have the skills. But like, I would sell it as an April Fool's joke. I'd buy that for $1 DLC. I'd make it $1, and all I'd have it do is I'd replace all the gunshot noises with the line, "I'd buy that for $1." So every time you fire a gun, you hear, "I'd buy that for it. I'd buy that for. I'd buy that." I would find it the funniest fucking thing.
That kind of reminds me of there was a Dark Souls mod that just made every texture pizza.
Yeah.
that kind of chaos, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm so like, if they were to release that, I would find it the most glorious thing. I would love it. I would never turn it off, and my RoboCop game would be ruined.
Or have it on your visor. Funny. The guy's facing the commercial in the visor in like a pixelated form, like.
Incredible.
So like every time, like all the violence just get, like all the blood gets replaced by like dollars coming out of them.
It's like I remember the chaos of like paintball mode back in the day with like GoldenEye. It's like, oh, this is great. I love paintball mode. This is hysterical. Like we lost a lot of that stuff. Like random modders are out there still keeping that alive. But
Slappers Only was great with
that was
GoldenEye.
Slappers Only one-hit kill, man. That was the best. Just run it. Whoever can get that trigger the fastest, they're dead. Man, I missed that.
Then there's always some dick who's like, I'm going to be odd job because you still got the hat on Slappers Only.
You're in a different country, and we all have the exact same battle scars from playing GoldenEye. Like, What a great game. And also, it's a shit game. Like, you cannot even play it anymore. The game sucks. I'm sorry. I know the internet just got mad at me for saying this game sucks, but go play it again.
Yes,
Well,
try.
it
The
sucks-
controls
it
are
sucks.
awful.
It sucks 30 years later.
Yeah. And granted, I say that very meanly. If you can play the port on PC and play with a mouse and keyboard, it actually does play really, really well still. But on old controllers, it plays like shit. But if you can do it, WASD wise, it's pretty good. I think I've said everything I can say on Robocop. Unless you guys have any questions about it, then I can attempt to answer without spoiling. Because fuck it, I'll
buy
spoil
it for $1?
No, but I'm going to spoil the ending for you right now, and I still have a third of the way to go. The corporations are the bad guy.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Oh,
I know. How dare I ruin the ending of a Robocop story?
That's so unlike a Robocop story as well.
I know.
Usually the corporations are great. Like, they brought him back to life.
This is my surprise face.
I'm sorry for ruining the ending. Yeah, no, corporations are the bad guy. That's the spoiled ending.
I was hoping it was not. I was hoping it was not so.
Guys, Robocop's gone so woke. It used to be such a capitalist dream film. I think.
Paul Verhoeven with his capitalist dreams. It's definitely what he was known for.
That would be a great series.
I would listen to a podcast of Paul Verhoeven talking about capitalism weekly. That would be a hell of a show.
And he's like got guests on like Werner Herzog or something like that.
That's what
I feel like
it'd just be like a garbage disposal in your ears. They're both so hard to understand.
And they're really sensitive mics too, so like you get the richness of their voices.
No, but joking aside, I bet it'd be a fascinating conversation. I would totally love to hear it. I don't care what the fuck they're talking. They can be talking about the weather, and I bet it'd be a fascinating conversation.
Bit of a wind chill coming on.
Where'd you buy the wind chime?
Is it near the baby?
Your Herzog's just creepy, man. All right, why don't you? I'll pass the torch. Talk about some. You reached for something.
Oh yeah. Being tall and all, with all the shelving, you're asked to reach for things all the time. So you're a reacher.
You're a reacher too, huh?
Yeah.
You do know that's where the name came from, right?
Yeah. I've been reading the books.
Just double checking.
Yeah.
Like, albeit Lee Child is a tall dude.
Yeah. I've been reading them out of order though. But the thing I've been mostly focused on is Reacher season 2. I happened to watch season 1 pretty fast and really loved it, and kind of thought that season 2 was already out because I'd seen a commercial for it. So I was like, okay, cool. Turns out no, it was still to come. So I had to wait for a while, and that was frustrating. And then it showed up, and it was great. That's the short story of that. But unpacking that a bit, I think what was really cool about season 2 specifically is that it shifted gears from season 1, which season 1 was more of, they're all in a way a bit of a mystery, but they're different mysteries, and what they're trying to figure out is different. And the stakes are a little bit different, where it's in a small town in Georgia, I think, in the first season. And here they're traveling all over to deal with people, nefarious forces out to kill them, and in weapons deals and things like that. And it's all very exciting. I don't know if you guys have seen any of it so far, or Matt, if you've seen all of it. Cool.
Has Matt seen all of Reacher? Yeah, he's seen all of Reacher.
Yeah.
Is
You're
it
talking
out?
to someone who, when season 1 came out, I watched it the day it came out, and then over the weekend watched it a second time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with season 2 because Amazon were dicks and were like, "Here's 3 episodes, and we're going to do the rest weekly." It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Release your shit.
Anytime I watch a show like that goes weekly, I think I have a chat log with Brian, and I complain, being like, "Hey, you know what sucks? The weekly method. It does not improve conversation." Oh, okay. Got to bring it back to Reacher. I can go on a rant forever with that. Hate it. But what I don't hate is Reacher season 2. It was very good. It actually had a really great hook. Both seasons have had really good hooks. The first season, he walks into a diner and gets arrested for murder. The second season has a hook where a military guy gets thrown out of a helicopter and dies. And that's how that starts. And it's like, okay, cool. this show has this really great way of hooking you in, and they make you almost as obsessive as Jack Reacher in terms of figuring out what's going on. I think more so than that, I wanted to know where this was going and who was trying to fuck around. And
did you find out?
Yeah, and they found out. It's hard to say if it was more violent than the first season. It felt bigger, I think, even if it wasn't nearly as good as the first season. I think there was something kind of tidy about season 1 compared to season 2.
The actor got bigger. Like,
oh yes,
he did. Huge.
I think he put in like 20 pounds for season 2 or something.
Yeah.
Like, because I haven't watched any of Reacher, but like I saw Fast X, like when he was putting on that muscle for Reacher season 2, and it's like, what are you doing to yourself? You look ridiculous.
Yeah, he fills the entire poster. Like,
yeah.
They did a really fun thing with the marketing though, with like Reacher's back, and the text was on
his back,
Alan Ritchson's back.
And I've never seen the show.
It's so big.
And who is in it?
Well, Tom Cruise is in the movies. That helps. I'm sure Matt loves those. You love the Reacher. I actually like the first Reacher movie. The second one isn't good, but the first one I liked it.
Funnily enough, when the Jack Reacher film came out, that was when I stopped reading the books. Not because I was like fuck the whole series. It was just because I read one of the books and I was like, I'm not getting into this. Yeah.
I like the first. Like, I mean, I'm a Tom Cruise fan as much as you can be a Tom Cruise fan, and he makes it very hard. But I usually he makes fun movies. So like I saw the first one, like that was a fun movie, and then I turned the second one off on an airplane, like which says a lot.
And
which
went
is
for
funny,
the door, right?
Which funny you say that about the second movie because I read the book that the second movie is based on.
Did you also turn it off on an airplane?
The book? No, the
threw it out the window.
Yeah. And we all died. No, I actually liked the book quite a bit. It was pretty interesting, but it's the type of interesting and enjoyable that wouldn't translate well to film. And turns out I was right.
It didn't. Yeah, it wasn't good, but the first one wasn't bad. But I still need to watch the shows. I really like Alan Ritchson. Is that it?
Yeah.
I really like him a lot. He was a good Ninja Turtle, even though those movies sucked. He was a good Ninja Turtle. He was great in Titans. He's just a good actor. So I definitely like him getting more stuff. I hope the rumors are true that he's actually in talks for Batman. I think he'd be a stellar Batman.
That would be. He would fit that physically. Just let's say that.
Yeah.
I think that's just started to like a lot of people on his Instagram saying you should be Batman. And
yeah, I think that's all it is too.
A little bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, usually when that happens, they go a different way. I don't know why they do that, but I'd still be a good Batman.
But given like if you take Reacher as a sort of like trial run for Batman in terms of a stoic male lead character who kind of keeps it close to the chest, but still does like investigative detective-y type shit. I think it's actually kind of a good sell, like a more detective-based Batman who's got a presence. He imposes the frame. Like I'd go back to the theaters again for that.
Yeah. Reacher can be his layer cake to turn him into Batman, like that one did Daniel Craig into Bond.
Yeah, and I guess to wrap up,
Reacher kills quite a lot though, so I don't know if he's like,
he'd have to tone that.
So
down
does
a little
Batman.
bit.
I'm so sick of that. Batman kills people left and fucking right. Like, get over it, guys.
I don't kill anybody. I knock him out peacefully.
Keaton threw a guy in a drain with a grenade strapped to him, and then smiled when the grenade blew up. That guy just died horribly.
He's just asleep.
He's an earthworm. There's just two of them now. Like,
cerebral hematoma is a thing, Batman. You should, you keep pounding someone's head. They might not be dead when you leave them. They're gonna die later.
Like, oh yeah, those huge guns in the Batmobile. Yeah, those are rebel bullets. Yeah, no, I read the Frank Miller comic too. Yeah, rubber bullets being shot at that speed out of that gun. Still gonna kill you.
Tis but a scratch.
It's someone in the chest and they just like go down. And it's like, oh yeah, his heart stopped.
He's just
a rubber bullet. I was missold these rubber bullets. Damn it.
Batman kills. He does not murder for fun. There's a difference, and that still makes it somewhat okay.
I mean, I guess that makes Reacher even better training because Reacher kills a whole hell of a lot of people. Like I can't stress this enough.
Batman's not this
as
guy.
well,
Like, it could be worse. Like,
but there is a point where it kind of gets a little ridiculous in season 2, just a little bit, where after they've dispatched the next 5 people or whatever, they just kind of walk off and it's like, okay, well that's 5 people who are dead, 5 more people. We've just we're in a 2-digit count and we're not halfway through the season yet. So, but that's what you're here for. And honestly, if you're there for action and very sexy people and very, very built protagonists, Reacher has you every which way.
Strong, sexy people. Sign me up, man. I am a comic book fan after all.
You will go to the gym once and be like, "Oh, I can't do this."
I do that on a yearly basis. It's a tradition at this point. The day I go to the gym and go, I shouldn't have come here.
I'm in danger.
I still go to the gym. I'm still like, fooling myself that I will,
You're in better shape than me. Keep it up.
I wear baggy clothes. That's
So do I. So I'm pushing 40. Baggy clothes are like, that's all I got anymore, man. I'm not wearing anything form fitting. Fuck that. I'm also lazy and I like being comfortable. I'm wearing jeans right now. I hate it. Matt, you're up. Let's talk about some slow cows.
Slow horses.
That little bit of chuckles I got was all that joke deserved, but I'm very happy I still got him.
That exasperated sigh is even better.
Made it so much better.
I'm glad the mic picked it up this time because, there's a couple of times with the Friday the 13th one where I was doing the music, the and the mic.
I did not want to grab that at all.
The mic was just going, "Nah, fuck you."
No, you're not getting it this week.
No, be more breathy.
No, Matt has to deal with my horrible jokes almost every time we record. I'm like, come on, that was a good one, right? No one?
He's worn me down to the point where it's just like, they're all funny now because like my brain's just like, whatever.
When none of them are funny, they're all funny.
It's like, just laugh and we can move on.
If you don't laugh, we can't move to the next point. So you better.
He's gonna keep asking if it's funny if we don't move on. So just tell him it's funny and you can move on.
It's like what, 20 minutes of a podcast of you just going, eh? I'm glad you edited that down in the final thing to about 2 minutes though.
Sometimes. Depends on if
Graham's breakdown of what was it, Attack of the Clones? Graham's breakdown of that.
18 minutes. 18 fucking minutes. He went on about that. I cut it down to 2. Like that one.
I was there when the Westfold fell. I was there when he began his breakdown of the Star War.
Oh, I love Graham.
It's still going on.
One of my favorite people in all of time. I love Graham like he's my family. I hated him hard that day. But Matt, please let's hear about Slow Horses.
Yes, so it's season 3 has just wrapped up in December. It's on Apple TV. It's another series based on a series of books as well. And this one, they're actually doing the books like this. Each season is one book, like Reacher, but they're doing them in the same order as the books came out. So like season 1's the first book, season 2's the second, season 3's the third. Like
the original approach, like Game of Thrones, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
Okay.
But this is like spies, and it's not James Bond. So basically, the slow horses, the namesake, is the nickname given to this unit in MI5, which is the British. It's like
I'm familiar with MI6.
So MI6 is like the CIA. They operate
Okay.
outside of the UK, and MI5 would be probably more like the FBI. They operate inside.
Okay, sure.
The UK usually, but these are the guys who fucked up essentially. So, for example, one of the characters' backstory is that he left a laptop with a load of no, wait, that was the actual MI6 guy who did that. I think it was just a file folder in the series. He left a classified file folder on the bus.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's an uh-oh.
I haven't looked into this, but I'm certain that the original concept probably came from, there was a news report or a news story mid-2000s about a MI5, MI6 agent or like some government person who basically left a laptop on the bus, like with like an unsecured laptop on the bus, which was just filled with government secrets.
You sure this wasn't in America? That seems like something we'd do.
No, it's very British, that, leaving it on the bus. Like, you Americans don't use buses.
Oh, I mean, you got us there. Well played. We got 2 cities where people use buses: Chicago and New York. End of list.
So is that what the slow horses refers to? Just that they're not quite great?
I guess
that
so.
Was a
yeah,
real slow horse move.
So they operate out of a building called Slough House, and so I think it's kind of like a play on the words of that.
All right.
Because what John said sound like an American trying to come up with a British insult. Oh, you're a real slow horse.
It's another one of you just going, eh?
But I actually got a laugh out of Kelly, so it still counts.
So we can continue.
Our laughs still count, man.
I mean, Kelly just looks worn down by this.
Laugh is a laugh.
Down, like, anything that's not like coming out of a 14-year-old's mouth is just, delightful to hear anymore.
Adult conversation, eh?
Yeah. So quasi-adult conversation is appreciated every now and then.
The 14-year-old's mouth is Joel, right? Because
always.
You mean the guy playing Nintendo sitting next to her right now? Yes, it's Joel.
Yep. Still, yep. I don't even know.
I've been following on this whole thing. I'm one foot in the podcast, 1 foot in, like, he's talking. I think he's talking to Navi right now. Like, I'm in it. I even have comments. Like, why is he doing this? Like, why is he playing? Like, who fights the skeletons? Like, why is he even out at night? What's he doing? He's wasting time.
That's like his favorite Zelda game of all time. So
of course it is. We're all millennials. That's all of our favorite Zelda game of all time.
Yeah, right. I'm partial to the first one. I never played the second one, but the first one was awesome.
I mean, most of the Zelda games are pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hatred towards Tears of the Kingdom, but we talked about that last time a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
A little bit, yeah. I heard something about that. Was
horrible,
I held back a lot. Matt, do you have anything else to say on slow horses, or
a bunch. We just kind of diverged.
Well, I mean that's the name of the game, man.
As long as it's fun for the viewers. It's weird saying viewers.
I know, we actually like viewers. Like I picked like what I was going to wear. Like I'm not used to this for podcasting. I
just threw a hoodie on over my pajamas. So, like, I didn't even get dressed.
I mean, I was like, do I want to wear Superman or do I want to wear Jason? And I'm like, I'm a Jason guy.
I'm a Jason guy.
But yeah, so slow horses, going back to that, somehow segue back in. I couldn't find a decent way, so I'll just jump in going, slow horses! So yeah, the basic concept is it's all these failure agents who they don't get fired, they just get reassigned, and they just do shit work. Like, background checks on, parking tickets from 20 years in the past or something, just in case it was maybe a terrorist scoping out a building or something like that.
So the spy version, like Hitchcock and Scully from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Worse, because at least Hitchcock and Scully in the 9-9 are in the 9-9. They have their own little office where they're just shoved.
Yes. Okay. So they're like if they got demoted.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a funny show?
Oh, it's hilarious. Like
it's
one of these. So it's one of those shows where it mixes the humor with it can be quite dark comedy,
right?
But it also it's one of these shows where in the same show where it's really kind of serious dramatic beats, there is also some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. Like laugh out loud funny. So Gary Oldman plays a guy called Jackson Lamb, who's he was the spy, and then he's now older, and he runs the sort of the slow horses, and his job in his mind is just to make everyone miserable in there. So, one of the characters who's in there is like a recovering alcoholic, and he's constantly trying to get them to have a drink of whiskey with him. And he smokes a lot. He drinks a lot. He eats junk food and farts a lot. There's literally fart jokes in this critically acclaimed TV series,
like Golden
starring
Globe
Gary
winning,
Oldman.
like
Yeah.
This is a heavy hitter. Like Gary Oldman fart jokes.
Yeah.
There's
there's like one in the first season or something where he's sitting on a bench or someone and he farts and goes, oh god, wait till that gets to you. I had a booner like earlier on that just it's horrible.
Sorry, you got to translate to American. What the hell is a booner?
It's like an Indian dish. It's like a curry.
Okay.
Really?
So
okay.
That's new to me. But I imagine it makes
BHUNA.
Interesting. I bet that'd make a hellacious fart. So yeah.
I feel like Gary Oldman and farts is like kind of all you need to sell it to anybody, really.
Yeah. There's a show. It's on Apple, right? It's on Apple.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman farts in it.
Yeah.
Sold.
All right. Yeah.
Sign me up. We're good to go.
I'll take 8.
It's so great though. Like the writing in it is spot on, and I think like the pacing of it. So each season's about 6 episodes, so it's like you can zoom through them. But yeah, I love the show. I think it's like one of the best kind of current shows that's on at the moment, like in terms of just like how it's written. Like, I always look forward to when it comes out. And what's great about, like, I've got to the end of season 3, like at each of the end of every season, it kind of goes next season on Slow Horse. So you oh, there is actually a 4th one coming, and they've already shot it from the looks of it, which is great.
Yeah, I wish I could have done that with Severance. I really liked Severance, and then Severance. Who fucking knows if we're ever getting Severance season 2? It's kind of a bummer. Like, oh, way to end on a cliffhanger with no plans for season 2. Like, you bastards.
The worst.
Like literally, like a movie that came out in 2023 level cliffhanger of just like, but wait, there's more. But we actually didn't film it, and there might not be more.
Yeah. We may not have animators anymore.
Yeah, that was like the theme of 2023. We're gonna make a part 1 and really hope there's a part 2, but probably won't be a part 2.
Probably if you're gonna do that, shoot them both.
Please.
Like, yeah, remember back in the day when you would shoot both part 2 and 3 together, like a real human being?
Yeah, but every time they did that, it sucked. So I can see why they stopped doing it.
Like, new
I don't know. Back to the Future was okay.
And the first one's good.
Yeah, they didn't shoot that back to back with 2 and 3 though.
No, they didn't. So and it's like The Matrix is great, and then
I thought the whole trilogy was shot in like one right after the other.
No, like Back to the Future. They did the first one, and it was like such a huge hit. They were basically saying, "Oh, we want a sequel." I'm like, "Oh, don't." Well, I mean, we set up that thing as a joke at the end. I guess we could use that, but like that's one of the director's biggest regrets is having them go into the future, just because like the future never looks like how the future actually is.
Nope. And his biggest regret should be the whole chicken thing. It drives me nuts. I do not like the second movie because of the whole like him being so offended by the word chicken. I know I need to let it go, but it drives me nuts.
Comes out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest Back to the Future guy. Like I think they're great films, and I get why people love them. They're just not something I turn on. Like it's not like my Disney hatred, but like I get that people enjoy them. Slow Horses.
Yeah, I mean, like for me hey, I can jump into anything.
I teed you up so well, and you just go, yeah.
But I've really enjoyed the show, and I've sort of like once I've watched a season, I've read the first book now. So, but I tend to I like reading the books afterwards when it's like a really accurate depiction, because I had an issue. I had something like years ago when I was watching Bosch, where like I watched like the first 2 seasons, and then I read the first book. I was like, oh, that's really good. And then it came to the 3rd season, which like was partially based on the first book, and there was a bit in the 3rd season going, I know what's happening now. There is no tension here for me, but it's really well shot. I wish I had that tension. So I stopped reading books based on series that I'm watching until like that was the thing with Reach season one, having read the first book.
Teacher's worst nightmare.
Yeah, because like for me, I'm more of a visual person.
Yeah,
like, I do enjoy reading, but you know, like in Reach season one, there's a major sort of like plot point where as soon as a certain character like shows up, I'm like, I know what's going on with you, because I've read that book so many times. I've literally just reread Killing Floor like a couple of weeks ago, actually.
Oh, I'm in it right now. I'm reading Killing Floor right now, actually.
I've had so many people recommend that book to me, even before the
It's a really good book. Like I think the introduction in the book is one of the best written introductions to a character I've read, just because of like how it sort of throws you in there and you're very much aware of how that character is and how he thinks and how he operates, just based on like the first chapter or something. I think it's such a great introduction to the character.
There's I'm going way off topic with this recommendation. I'm gonna throw it out there anyways, and then we should probably move over to Kelly to let her talk about her stuff. When you say great introduction to a character, Miracle Life of Edgar Mint. It's written by, I think, Brady Udall, the author I want to throw out there. I could be wrong on that. Has the best opening to a book I have ever read. Full stop. Just amazing opening to a book. I'm not gonna say anything else beyond that, but it's just like apparently won an award for its first sentence. It was that good. Like, you need to check it out. It's awesome. The book
just
is
the first sentence, though.
The rest is crap. The rest is crap.
It starts strong and then there's a sharp drop off. No, it's a really, really good book, and I had to read it in a lit class in Carbondale when I went to Southern Illinois, and it was the only book that I liked out of the entire class. But like, I loved that book. I still love that book. It's a great book. It's not nerdy at all, though, so it's not usually in my normal conversations because it's just a nice book.
So
Kelly, you slow horses. No, let's
Neir.
Yeah, let's shift gears. I'm sorry, Matt. Was there anything else that you really wanted to say about Slow Horses?
No, I mean, like, it's one of those things where I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything, because it is one of those shows, like, I went into it quite blind. Like, I listened to film music and like TV music and stuff. I downloaded the soundtrack because I like the dude who does the music, and listened to soundtrack. I thought, maybe I should check out this show, because I had no idea. Like, listening to music, I didn't even know that it was about MI5 agents. I had no idea, and I just went right, I'll watch it. I've got a free trial to Apple TV. I'll just watch it. And I just went in and I was like, did the whole first season in like one run, like literally first episode to the end in one day, and it was just like, that was really fucking good.
I do believe you've sold me on this show. I feel like I have to check this one out. Reacher, not quite there yet, but that's because I really want to read the books. It does sound good though, but I'm definitely sold on Slow Horses.
And the thing,
Reach is the kind of show that you watch where, like, if you want something like the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Commando, it's really sort of like dumb fun action. Like, it's going to be like over the top, but in a fun way. Not like you know, the stuff that like Reacher can do. Like, I've read reviews of like people saying it's so ridiculous. Like there's one bit where he's holding something with one arm in season 2. It's like, can't believe like how unrealistic that is. It's like, you do know what you're watching, right?
Right.
Like,
okay, I can wrap my head around this. Yeah, I can get behind that. I have to be in the right mood for it, but I can. There is a future where I watch that show for sure.
Yeah, it'd be like someone watching the Terminator going, "You can't make machines like that." It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Well, we can't now. It's in the future, and they come back. Like, you're not watching the movie. Alan
Richardson would make a good Terminator, actually.
He just might be a Terminator. He's fucking huge. Let's hear from Kelly, because it's gonna be a major change of pace. We've been talking like movies and TV this whole time, and Kelly actually went and did something.
Yes, finally. We actually got out and went to Chicago and saw the Neir Automata concert. So that was incredible. It was a very eclectic experience, actually. It was one of those, there were a lot of people there for different reasons. I was there strictly for the music. Joel loves the music and the game. And then some people were in cosplay, some people were in formal gowns, and some people wouldn't shut up every time some people entered the stage, like the actual singers from the the games were there, so they were singing every time they went on stage. Somebody kept like woohooing, and I'm like, shut up. And I just wanted to hear.
Not being a fan.
But yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
Stop having fun.
Enjoy it quieter.
All I wanted to do was hear music. That was my first mistake. But
You're a teacher. Just imagine you like standing on the stage going, now, class, be quiet.
yeah, okay.
You're only wasting your own time.
So yes, no, but yeah, no, that was quite the experience. That was a night of seeing like little snippets of Near Automata and hearing the music along with it, and it was unique for me.
I
Totally.
think my friend's literally gone like this week gone to see that in the UK. So
Did they already make it back? Because I know they were going to like Paris, I thought.
I'm sure, like, because I was talking to one of my friends and they said that they went to a concert and I said, "Oh, what is it?" And they said Near Automata. I'm sure it was Near Automata.
That's probably. I know they're doing like a whole world tour, but yeah, I knew they were like
huge,
Paris
yeah.
was on the docket and all of that. But yeah, that has been my big thing. Going back to being the geeky millennial zennial that I am. I've been watching Are You Afraid of the Dark a lot. I got that whole complete series. Not the reboot, the original Are You Afraid of the Dark.
Oh, okay, good.
I love it. So I've been watching that. I've been watching Doc Martin. I've been watching Shark Tank. I've been doing everything then except like reading books. That I'm an English teacher who reads books, but I do a lot of that in school, but I haven't been doing my own personal reading lately, and I'm kind of sad about that. But yeah,
What would be a really good book for you to read for your own time is Dune.
Dune? Oh yeah, I've heard great things about Dune. Yeah,
I heard it has more than a couple chapters.
I've heard good things. In fact, well, I was on Joel's podcast last night, just sort of like a little guest appearance, and they were talking about Dune, but it was the video game.
Spice Wars.
Popcorn Bucket, yes.
Oh,
the Popcorn Bucket.
Popcorn Bucket.
That's not the game at all.
Topic of interest during this thing is horrifying.
That
is. The world's weirdest fleshlight.
Yes.
I'll make it.
Someone's going to use it as one. There's going to be a report of like someone went to A&E or like you guys ER or something with one of those attached to him.
I'll make it so teethy for you.
That is one of those like it went to a boardroom and went. This was the design we came up with. And everyone just went.
Had to be approved.
I don't want to say it. Like there was a whole room of people going. I don't want to say it. No, I don't want to say it either. Are we actually? If no one's going to say it, we're going to sell it. I'm not saying it.
I think someone might fuck it. Yes, we know.
Yeah, somebody had mums the word on that one, but that was totally an interesting experience.
All that said, if I can find one, I'm totally buying one. Like instantly.
Unrelated. Where can I find one?
Look at me weird all you want, Matt. That'd be like a trophy. I got one.
Just don't buy one.
It's gonna go down in history, so yeah, it might be worth hanging on.
So don't go to eBay for it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, do not buy a used one.
Do not buy a used one.
Very well loved by the seller.
Slight use.
Anyway, yeah.
The teeth are a bit damaged.
No, I would love to have one on a shelf, and I'd love to put googly eyes on it, and I think it would just be the funniest fucking thing.
Oh no, but yeah. So we were talking about that. That's really been it. It's more about what I have coming up that I'm looking forward to doing. So
well,
again,
that's our next section. Do you just want to kick us off with that, with what we got coming up next?
Yeah. So that's really what I have coming up again is Return of the King. And so we'll be doing that. We will be doing Dune, obviously. And I'm trying to pick up the pace a little bit on, I want to read this book. I really should read that book, and kind of trying to keep my options and, stuff open a little bit more, and hopefully do a little bit more.
Options closed on Dune.
Yeah. I only ever hear, you have to read this. So, no.
We were promised Dune 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So Joel was very upset with me because he wanted to break up the Lord of the Rings experience and do Dune before, like, he actually wanted to do it like after Fellowship, but I was like, no, I have to do this. We have to do this all at once. We have to do it. So yeah, it's my fault that I'm dropping the ball on it a little bit, but yeah.
Joel outed you. We know.
Yeah. No.
Matt and I are well aware. Like he let us know.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. He throws me out of the bus a lot like that. So yeah.
It's nice to know that he wasn't lying as well.
Yeah. I think we both called him a liar. Like, fuck you, no way.
That's okay. Keep calling him that. I'm all for it. Yep, I support that. No, yeah, I mean, that's what I have coming. I'm not a huge. I wish I could say I was more of an avid movie goer. I know I want to see Wonka. I still want to see that. There's still
Wonka's so good.
There's still some things I want to see coming up. But just, I don't know, just life in general. Like I said, the musical's taking up any spare time I have, and I've just been dropping the ball. So
theater eats time. That's fair. Very fair.
It's about what's coming up. So yeah, there will be more prizes and fun stuff coming up in afterthoughts and giveaways and stuff like that. So yeah. Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm open to any suggestions. Of course, Dune. I don't need any more Dune suggestions, but
oh no, actually, I had
a Dune.
Yeah, Dune.
I knew it was coming. I
wish I had my book of Dune.
I could have just let it happen.
What have I got to the hand?
Let's just. I think I have it on Laserdisc behind me somewhere.
Pretend this box is Dune. You should do Dune.
Pretend this Return of the Jedi on Laserdisc is Dune.
And this a chip clip is Dune.
I will never
do Dune.
Be able to live this down. It's gonna be my fault forever.
I'm honestly gonna be a little disappointed when you finally read Dune, because then my go-to joke will be dead.
I know, and then you're gonna have to find something
no more
No, I can always go I've got plenty of
Just one less
Yeah.
You're an machine. It's just everything comes out. You want to just just different tonality.
Yeah. So Matt, moving on. So we didn't really tell you to prep this. Kelly did great with it. I just totally threw to her. But we were supposed to tell you, like, if we have you on again next month, obviously a month away, plans can change. What would you want to bring to the table? That's what I mean. Like, what do you have coming up next? Kelly just had a whole bunch of great shit, and I didn't give her any of that prep. So
yeah,
Kelly did off the cuff and did great. So do as good as Kelly.
I was just thinking, like, what am I doing? And like, what am I? Well, I'm going to see Manhunter tonight on a 35mm print.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock at night. How are you going out to a movie? Sorry.
It's 5:16 in the morning.
Oh, time zone jokes.
And it's still dark.
Matt, where are you from exactly?
England. Can you not tell from the accent?
No, I specify. I knew it. I was like, there's going to be a smart ass and say that. Where in England?
It's the only part of me that is smart, my ass.
The reason I ask is my brother-in-law is from Yorkshire, and I didn't know if you were from there or somewhere.
Well, we call it Yorkshire, not Yorkshire.
All right, Return of the King.
I can tell you've been reading Lord of the Rings. We never saw the Shire. But yes, I am actually from West Yorkshire. Yorkshire is a county so big that they had to split it up into North, west, south, and then East Riding of, which is weird. Just call it East Yorkshire.
It's called East Riding of?
Yeah, it's called East Riding of Yorkshire.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I thought it just ended with of, and I'm like, weird? Okay, at least it's still Yorkshire is in there. I'm going to keep Yorkshire.
And then
That's
like
way more
I
fun to
don't
say.
say Yorkshire. I don't know who says Yorkshire.
I do now.
Well, now that we know, I mean,
Yorkshire, like Yorkshire pudding, his
Yeah.
favorite, his favorite dish of all time. Is
But now that I know it
Yorkshire
annoys
pudding.
Now that I know how quickly it annoys Matt, it's Yorkshire for days.
Oh boy.
Annoying me. I just find it hilarious. It's like when Americans try to pronounce Worcestershire sauce and they go Worcestershire sauce.
What the fuck did you just say?
It was the Worcestershires. It was the Worcestershires.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
We're way off the rails. Weren't you supposed to be saying what you got coming up?
That was his tactic. He has nothing.
He's got nothing. Just stall for time.
Oh no! Now I'm just like, I'm just curious, like where in Yorkshire?
Oh,
Still
hell.
stalling for time.
He grew up there. I know. I'm not exactly sure where. I'm
Kelly's
sure
just helping him stall for
point or
time.
another.
Matt, come on.
But he moved to London, for years. He lived in London, and then he, of course, came over to the U.S. But yeah, I was
He's a
just
southern bastard. Then just moved to London.
curious. But yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him. But I didn't know Yorkshire was that big.
Oh, it's huge. I think it might be I think like if you look at Yorkshire as a whole, I think it's the biggest county in the UK.
Wow. So I'm gonna have to ask him. But yeah, I was just wondering because I was like, oh, his accent. So yeah, I wanted to say. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
Leeds to be more specific. That's where I am from.
You said Leeds?
Yeah, Leeds. Leeds.
Okay. Cool.
And that's the spelling bee part of the podcast.
And now for our original scheduled programming. What would you like to bring next?
After those messages, we came right back.
I don't know actually. It's I'm because I'm currently watching Tokyo Vice, but I don't think that's going to be finished by next month because it's another one of those. We're releasing them weekly.
I think it's 8 episodes, so that's got weekly April. Yeah.
Just trying to think of what other new stuff am I watching? I mean, I suppose I could talk For All Mankind season 4, which ended last month.
Oh, there you go. That'd work.
I could bring that up.
I'd like to actually hear a little bit more about it because you've told me to watch it like 15 times, and I don't know anything about it. I just have not made the time for it. So
good.
That would be a good one.
First 2 seasons are fucking amazing. It's sort of like it's still great, but it's becoming more sci-fi. And when I say more sci-fi, I mean more of the kind of like this is very kind of like fantastical sci-fi now.
Okay,
but it's still great. Like the storytelling's still really good.
Cool. We'll save it for next month, and tell me all about it because
and you get to see what Joel Kinnaman's going to look like in like 40 years' time or something because he's in it.
I've already done that in RoboCop, haven't I?
That's true. Yeah, I was watching that the other day. I was kind of thinking, oh wow, I forgot Joel Kinnaman was in this. Oh wow, yeah. He's really acting his ass off. He a RoboCop remake.
He gave
which
it
is
his
PG-13. This, yeah. The cast is incredible though. Like fucking hell. I mean, this is not a RoboCop podcast. So
no, we're recording that in. You're recording it tomorrow. I'm recording it in 2 days, and that makes sense.
36 hours. Literally 36 hours.
Am I next or is John next? I was trying to go in the reverse order that we did stuff.
John will go next.
I forgot the correct order. So yeah. I think it's pretty obvious based off of what you tried to remind me of in the beginning of the episode, but it's going to be Persona 3 Reload. Like that's kind of, I hope to be done with it, but I don't know, man. It's just,
yeah.
I'm 30, almost 40 hours into it. So probably not, but we'll see. But I think it's a shorter game though than 5. But
I think you're looking at like, you're maybe a third of the way in.
Holy balls. Okay.
Depending how you've been spending your time, you're either a third or a half of the way in, from what I understand. I have not played it yet, so
I've been doing all the shadow stuff on one day, and then like social links the rest of the time.
You're probably cooking through it pretty quick then.
Yeah.
I hope it's over is what I got to with like 3/4 of the way through The Stand by Stephen King. I was like, I just want this to be over now. I've been reading this book for 3 fucking months.
That was me with It. And then when I finally got to the end of It, I'm like, oh, this wasn't worth it.
Oh, man. I did the audiobook.
Yeah, I got to the end of The Stand. I was like, that's the ending?
Yeah, I did the audiobook for It. And at the worst parts is when I would pull into the parking garage for work and have to roll down the window and show my pass to the guard.
There's some real ick parts that you could be rolling down the window for that.
Every time there was a slur, I was at the parking garage.
Fantastic.
Every time there was awkward, weird racial stuff, I was right there with the window down. It was great.
Yay!
It's a book. Here.
You could turn it off.
Yeah. It's usually what I try to do.
That just reminds me. I know hindsight is 2020, but
that's just too much, man.
that reminds me so much.
I have to take.
No, you just
when I was in school. That reminds me of like so much when I was at school and I was reading Killing Floor for the first time. Funnily enough, I was 12 years old. Probably not the best age to be reading that book, but hey ho.
Yeah.
I started reading Tom Clancy's when I was 8, so you know. But there was this we had reading classes for like half an hour, but like randomly you'd get picked out and you'd have to go and read to someone who was like a year older. And I was just happened to be reading Killing Floor, and it's the chapter where he's describing how basically some guy was nailed to a wall and his testicles were cut off and they were found in the stomach of his wife, his dead wife. I've never seen someone like shifting more uncomfortably in their chair as I'm just reading this out in the middle of a corridor. To a student, not a teacher as well.
Okay, I'm going to give you the same sort of advice that I just gave John. You could have picked a different part. You'd been reading the book.
Because I was reading it for the first time. I didn't know it was coming.
You'd read stuff before it. You can okay, I guess if we're talking about testicles being in a different person's body, maybe I should flip back 100 pages.
You've met me though, right?
Again,
I probably would have found that quite amusing.
Yeah, I'm sure you found it fucking hilarious.
You think I'm a dick now? I was a massive dick when I was 12.
You should have met me in high school.
Boys were when you're like 12, 13-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just... I just thought that was just the nature of the beast.
Unfortunately, sometimes, yeah.
You see it every day. I don't know.
Yeah. That was my way of flirting. I read a chapter from this book.
You flirted bad.
That reminds me of a date movie I went to before I married my wife, and we went to see Enter the Void.
Why?
Gaspar Noé. We liked indie movies, and so we watched that one. And I was like, that was a bad date movie.
One of my friends went on a
date
first
to Gaspar Noé is a bad idea. Like,
one of my friends went on a first date with someone and they went to see Detroit, that film about police.
Yeah, that one's fucked up too. Like,
yeah,
that's a good movie. It's just I'll never watch it again. It's fucking depressing.
Yeah, it's a great date movie apparently.
Nope. I mean, I don't have much room to talk. The first date movie too, and I went to was The Wolfman, but it was fun. So at least
that's what you want from a date movie. It might not be a good movie, but you want it to be fun at least.
We laughed the whole way through. Anthony Hopkins as a werewolf is fucking hysterical.
You don't want to be coming out of a date movie just being like, oh, well, I'm depressed now.
Well, that was awful. See ya. All right, I'll go really quick. For what I'm going to try to bring to the table next time, assuming that I even come to the table next time. If John's talking Persona 3 and I haven't started it yet, I'll have to find a way to hide from him because I'm so determined not to have a game that's like 20 years old spoiled for me.
We'll figure something out. I'm sure
you've played 4 and 5, but not 3. Are you doing the series in reverse or something?
I didn't really know anything about the series until 5 came out. And then 5 came out. And they're all standalone. They don't talk to each other really at all. There's one kind of tying thread through, but it's very, very loose. Like they all have their own cast, their own stories and everything. So you can play them.
And they share a lot of similar motifs that just get presented in different ways. So they're all spiritual successors of each other.
Yeah, so you can play them whatever order you want. Yeah. The story does not change. When you have to play like the sequels to them, then you start getting that. I'm gonna get really into the weeds in this if I don't stop myself. So I'm just gonna cut myself off right there.
We'll figure something out because that's taken almost 100% of my time since this Reacher 2. So like, there's not a lot else, but we'll see.
We'll figure something out. I'm not worried about it. I might have I don't think I had that much left in RoboCop, so I will start playing it very soon. I just figured out how to hook up my Steam Deck to the TV, so I don't have to just sit there with it glued to my face at night. So yeah, I'm gonna start cooking through this stuff. But what I'm going to bring to the table next week is going to be Dune, and I'm also not joking. I'm going to go see Dune 2 the second it comes out, the 1st of March. I'm very, very excited for it, and I love the book. Obviously, I don't shut up about it whenever I'm around Joel or Kelly. It's such a good book. The first movie was absolutely stellar. I loved it, and I'm really excited for part 2. I think it's going to be great. I'm really, 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 really annoyed that they didn't release it in November when it should have come out. I should have already seen it by this point. I'm annoyed that I haven't. And yeah, I'm pumped. So that's what I'll be bringing. I will be bringing my review of Dune 2.
One point of clarification. You mentioned next week, but if we're doing this
next month. Sorry. Binge Buddy's brain. We do it weekly. Yeah. We'll
weeks, months. Yeah. You know, what's the difference, really?
Time is relative.
Yeah. One thing we've established very well is we all suck at time. So
Jeremy Baramy.
I'll see you on the Baramy. Oh fuck, that might be a good closing for our Good Place show. It won't make sense until like season 3.
The actual show title.
See you on the Baramy.
See you on the Baramy.
Yeah. Actually, not bad.
I'll have to get a screen cap of the actual board and try to just mimic that.
I'm still leaning towards Fork the Forking Forkers, but you know, because it's really fun to say and it sounds like the Swedish Chef, which is just that warms my heart. Work.
But also, Kristen Bell says fork in a very great way.
She does.
She enunciates fork beautifully.
Yeah.
For a split second, I thought you said Christian Bale. I was like, what's that?
Fork. I mean, he might too. Fork. I'm not wearing fork pants.
I'm gargling a fork right now. Can you tell?
Gordon, the utensils have been mismatched.
I love that when people have to do a Christian Bale impression, they just do his Batman voice. The dude's British. Like, he's not that hard to do like, an impression.
He's Welsh.
Sorry, Welsh.
Still British, but like, you know, it's an even more of a stranger accent.
It is so much funnier to put that voice to all his old roles that aren't Batman.
Yeah.
Like American Psycho.
You want to buy a paper?
American Psycho is very different. Like, do you like Huey Lewis in the news?
Slow horses.
Slow horses.
I think we've done it. Do we want to do
the theme song to Slow Horses is sung by Mick Jagger.
Of course it is.
Of course. Why? Why not?
I would expect nothing less. Slow Horses, Mick Jagger, one and the same.
Not Huey Lewis in the news, but you know.
Honestly, it should have been. I'm not going to finish this joke. If you get it, you get it. It should have been Patti Smith.
Come here.
Anyone? No Patti Smith fans?
That's
a really good joke if you like Patti Smith. Damn it.
She's a singer?
Oh, for fuck. Yeah.
What would I have seen her in?
No, she's a singer. You got her big album's called Horses.
Oh.
A little slow on that one.
Terrible.
Now I'm just
John
thinking the wild
horses
bit in Silence of the Lambs.
Now I gotta look it up and make sure I got the right fucking person.
Wouldn't that just cap it all nicely if we didn't?
Yeah.
That would explain why I've never heard of them.
No, I got it right. It's Patti Smith. Album called Horses. It's that one. Can you see on my glowy phone?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's a very minimalist.
Look, can you tell what I'm showing you? I don't know how to end this thing. Do I just say bye? Like, what are we doing for this?
I think we'll just say bye, and then I will hit the stop button if I can find it.
I mean, can we still get your
slow horses?
Slow horses.
Slow horses. And I'm gonna hit the button. That's just it. Slow horses.